This is the best release from YJ we've seen in a while.
The YJ MGC beta comes in a really stylish box, which I personally definitely like. And once you open it, you get a cube that's, at least for the version that we will talk mostly about today, UV coated, has a ball core, and comes at a very competitive price point.
The cube itself is pretty basic, and it doesn't even have dual adjustment, which is an interesting choice for 2025. Although you can remove the torpedoes, which has repelling edge magnets. So that's the only adjustable feature on this cube, except for the regular screw.
The puzzle has a nice speed to it. It isn't overly fast and not slow by any means, so it's quite easy to find a setup and a loop setup that you'll enjoy.
The cube is quite airy and has a hollow feel, although it is not light in terms of actual weight. Something you do notice though is that the cube is on the bigger side. It's actually 51.5 millimeters, which means to date it's actually the biggest 2x2 we have. That doesn't affect the solving much for me compared to a normal 51mm cube like the GAN 251M Pro. Something pleasant with this cube is that it is actually quite quiet, and I really do enjoy that on any cube.
Right when you open the box, you will notice the magnet capsules in the corners, and there are actually 2 per side per corner. I don't know if that adds much stability or why they chose to do it that way, but at least adds together with the magnetic ball core quite a nice magnetic feel to the puzzle. It's on the medium strong side, but not, quite pleasant.
Speaking of out of the box, the cube was very loose. I don't know if this will continue being a problem, but I didn't even get to do a complete solve without getting a corner twist, and I feel like it could have actually popped. I'm not sure, but after tightening it, we got a really nice cube.
Lockups is also pretty much a non-issue on this puzzle, at least internal lockups that I'm usually struggling with on a lot of different speed cubes. But the problem I do have with this puzzle, especially when we're doing like U2 turns or actually trying to spam TPS, is that I feel that there isn't really enough weight to the turn, so I quite often actually lose place in the middle of an alg, and that can easily destroy a solve. Maybe that is because of the hollow inside of the puzzle, or maybe that is just how the puzzle feels, but otherwise I think it's a really good cube.
Even though there is no specific feature on this cube that stands out to me, it's just an overall really good speed cube. I must say this is the first time I'm considering switching main from my 251M Pro. I really think that this is a main-worthy cube. I get really good times on it, I don't have any problems with lockups at all, so it's just a no-fuss, really good speed cube. And when I said this is the speed cube we've been waiting for, it's simply a really good speed cube in the medium price range, and we haven't seen that for a while. On Cubos, we've always been recommending either the GAN 251M Pro or some kind of budget cube like the RS2M or the Qi M Pro ball core. But now we have this really good cube that can compare to the GAN 251M Pro, although not being that expensive. So I really recommend this cube, and if you're at all into 2x2, I really think you should pick this up.
I mostly agree. The problem for me is that I'm quite picky with my cubes and my turning style might be on the heavier side. So I have quite a bit of problem actually getting very good times in this puzzle. Again, it's due to the weightiness of the turns, I think. Personally, I still main the YJ MGC Elite, and I've done so for many years at this point. That cube's a more stable one, which I can spam more TPS on and use more reliably. But I do agree that it fits a very important price point and a very important niche in the 2x2 market that we've been missing. So it's easy to recommend if you're looking for a competitive 2x2 puzzle which isn't too expensive. We've pretty much only been talking about the ball core version of this puzzle, but there is in fact another version which is just like €2 cheaper, but where they remove the ball core and the UV coating. So we think that pretty much no customer in the world will be looking to buy the €2 cheaper variant, which removes 2 of the most essential features of a 2x2 puzzle. So I don't really know why they even released that version. Maybe if it was like half the price of the ball core version, it would be a competitive release, because then it would be in the budget category. But now they had another variant with less features, but still in the same price range, and just, I don't know why they did that.
Do I think we will see this speed cube in the hands of some of the pros out there? I actually don't think so, even though I think it can fit a lot of speedcubers. If we're talking about people like Yiheng Wang, we really know that they like super fast cubes with not a lot of magnet strength. Actually, we do sponsor Theodore Sider, and we know he likes his GAN 251M Pro on the weak magnet settings, which is not for us at all. But I actually think he would really enjoy this cube. But we won't see any of them using this cube because they're either sponsored by GAN or Moyu. We don't really see any MGC sponsorees out there. So I actually think that could be a marketing problem for this cube. Even though it is really good, it's hard to know that if you don't see any good people using it.